Disclaimer: this audio recording includes subtitles so you can follow along more intentionally and absorb the ideas at your own pace. You were born gentle. Before you learned how to lie, before you knew what it meant to compete, before the world told you who you should be, you were simply human. Philosopher Jean-Jacques Rousseau once said, "Man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains." He believed we are naturally good, until civilization teaches us to forget. But others argue the opposite, that without laws and order, we'd be selfish, brutal, even savage. So who's right? And more importantly, how good a person are you, really? Strip away the systems, the screens, the rules. What's left at your core? Today, we're not just talking philosophy. We're digging into you, your instincts, your conscience, your truth. This isn't a test. It's a mirror. Before we start, if you're the kind of person who loves questioning the world, challenging assumptions, and seeing things from new angles, hit that like button to boost the convo and subscribe so you don't miss the deep stuff we're dropping here. Because we're just getting started. Before the rules, before society, who are you really? Before the traffic lights, before the job titles, before the algorithms told you what to want, who were you? Would you share your last piece of food with someone who had none? Would you reach out to comfort someone who had nothing to offer in return? Jean-Jacques Rousseau believed that deep down, we are wired to care. He saw early humans not as savages, but as simple, self-sufficient, and, most of all, compassionate. But modern life complicates things. Rules tell us what to do, laws tell us what not to do, and somewhere along the way, we forget to ask, what would I do if no one told me anything at all? Think about it. If no one was watching and no one would ever know, would you still be kind? If there were no rewards, no likes, no punishment, would you still act kindly? What if there were no applause, no praise, no punishment, no likes, no shares, no one watching? Would you still be kind? Still be fair? Still help someone who couldn't repay you? We like to think we're good people, but how much of our goodness depends on being seen? Do you give because it feels right, or because it looks right? Do you care, or do you want to be known for caring? Rousseau says, man is born good. It is society that corrupts him. Rousseau believed morality came from within, but modern life replaced instinct with incentives. So here's what it reveals. If you'd still help when no one notices, if you'd still speak up with no reward, you're acting from truth. But if your kindness disappears in the dark, if your morality fades when the audience does, then what you call goodness might just be a mirror, not a light. So when the world turns its back, do you turn yours too? Because kindness that depends on being seen isn't kindness. Do you ever feel like being good is harder in modern life? Once, goodness was simple. You saw someone fall, you helped them up. You saw someone hungry, you shared your fire, your food. Now, we're drowning in noise. Constant updates, competing causes, infinite scrolls of injustice. You feel too small to help, too tired to care, too distracted to even look. And maybe that's not your fault. Maybe the world has made goodness complicated. Maybe we've built a society where caring too much feels like weakness, or worse, a liability. Paraphrased from Rousseau's discourse on inequality that states civilization is what makes man weak. So ask yourself, if goodness feels harder now, are you resisting cruelty or just exhausted by complexity? Because here's the truth. If you still choose kindness in a world that numbs you, if you still pause to help, even when everything pushes you to hurry on, then your goodness is real. It's alive. It's resilient. But if the world has made you numb, what have you lost? Are your values truly yours, or just what society told you is right? From the moment you could speak, you were told how to behave. Say please. Say thank you. Don't speak out. Don't be selfish. Don't be too loud. Don't be too soft. They taught you what was right. But did anyone ever ask if it felt right? You've memorized the rules. But did you ever question who wrote them? You wear the uniform. But do you know what you're representing? Rousseau says, man is born free, and everywhere he is in chains. So let's be honest. If your values only echo what you were told, if your right and wrong came pre-installed, then are you truly good or just well-behaved? But if you've questioned the system, if you've stood still in a moving crowd, if you've chosen truth over comfort, even when it hurt, then your morality is yours. Forged, not fed. That is strength. That is freedom. You weren't born to conform. You were born to choose. So, who decided what you believe? You or them? Do you feel more human when you're alone in nature or connected online? When was the last time you felt undistracted? When nothing buzzed, nothing demanded, and no one was watching. We're more connected than ever and more disconnected than we've ever felt. You share more, but reveal less. You scroll for hours, but feel empty. You react, but rarely reflect. The more civilized man becomes, the more he is enslaved to the opinion of others. Inspired by Rousseau. So which one feels real to you? The you curated for the feed, or the quiet you, standing alone in the woods, with no one to impress? If you feel more human when you're offline, when you're slow, still, present, then maybe your humanity doesn't live in the cloud. Maybe it's buried under the noise. Nature doesn't perform. It just is. So do you, when you remember how. But if your sense of self is only strong when others are watching, if you only feel alive in the glow of reaction, then maybe you've traded something sacred for something addictive. Have we mistaken evolution for escape? Can people lead themselves, or do we always need to be governed? We build rulers, kings, courts, constitutions. We say it's for order, for safety, for the greater good. But what if we didn't need to be ruled? What if we were capable of governing ourselves, not with laws written for us, but with values chosen by us? Rousseau says in The Social Contract, the general will is always rightful and tends to the public advantage. Rousseau believed in something radical, that people, together, could shape a society not ruled by force, but by conscience. But here's the tension. If you only follow rules out of fear of punishment, if your morality collapses when no one's enforcing it, then maybe you're not free. You're just obedient. But if you can act with fairness when no one's watching, if you can live by what's right, not just what's required, then you are the leader Rousseau imagined. Freedom doesn't mean doing what you want. It means choosing what's right. So ask yourself, could we govern ourselves? Or do we still need someone to tell us how to be good? Does all this progress, phones, cities, AI, make us better or just busier? They told us we were advancing. That faster meant better. That smarter meant wiser. That connection meant community. We've never been more efficient and never felt more empty. Do you really believe this is progress? That smarter cities make wiser people? That artificial intelligence can replace emotional intelligence? Marshall McLuhan says, the more we perfect tools, the more we seem to degrade the user. We've conquered time zones, but lost presence. We've built machines that predict feelings, but forgotten how to feel. So here's the truth. If you think progress has made us better, show me how. Show me less greed, less loneliness, less cruelty. Show me people who listen more, love better, hurt less. Or has progress just taught us to hide it better, to distract ourselves from the same pain? In higher definition, you are not your phone. You are not your productivity. You are not a node in a system. You are human. So all this progress, did it bring you back to yourself? Or bury you under everything you were never meant to carry? We're not meant to be better machines. We're meant to be better humans. Come back to yourself. We asked, who are you before the rules? Would you still be kind if no one was watching? Are your values truly yours, or borrowed from noise? We looked at what we call progress, the cities, the feeds, the flawless machines, and asked, are we improving, or just hiding our flaws better? Rousseau believed we were good, before the noise, before the masks. That somewhere beneath the wires and walls and endless striving, there's still a gentle, powerful instinct to care, to share, to belong. Maybe your goodness isn't gone. Maybe it's just buried under expectations, algorithms, and alarms. So ask yourself, not with guilt, but with honesty, have you become more human or just more busy? You don't need to escape the world to rediscover who you are. You just need to slow down. Ask again. Listen deeper. Come back to yourself. You've always been good. You just need to remember. If you felt something, share this with someone you love. And ask them the first question. Before the rules, before the noise, who are you really? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell if you want more deep dives into faith, philosophy, and the questions that shape our lives. Thanks for watching, and keep thinking.